Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.
Well, it's that time of year that we live in Kansas, and unfortunately we have to deal with the weather, whether we like it or not sometimes. And so I'm here in the Backyard Family Garden at the Ag Research Center, and it's looking like I know a lot of other gardens and landscape plants are looking like right now. We've had some recent storms go through that have created quite a bit of damage. And so we are looking at some very significant hail damage. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about storm damage in gardens and storm damage with landscape plants and really what are your options. When you have hail, you know, if it just damages the leaves, it's not a big concern. A lot of times the plants can regenerate those leaves, not a big issue. However, when you start seeing major damage on the stems, and if you have fruit on those fruit, that's a different story. And so that's very stressful on the plant. You know, the stem obviously is where that plant moves water and nutrients. And if that part of the plant is hindered or broken or smashed, then the plant can't move water like it needs to, and eventually you'll probably end up losing the plant. Now, here at the Backyard Family Garden, our tomatoes were starting to get some size to them. They were starting to bloom, and as you can see, the hail just has completely destroyed them. I'm not going to give up on them yet, which really you can't do anything about it, unfortunately, but I would just wait and see what happens. Same thing goes for our tomatoes and our onions and everything else in the garden. All you can do is kind of wait and see. Now, I will say with some of these warm season crops like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, those sorts of things, zucchini, you can go back and still plant more. And I think we have time now to still get a crop by the end of the season. So if your garden really has been destroyed and things have just been mowed down to the ground, that might be your best bet, is to go back to the garden center and greenhouse if you can still find things, and purchase some new plants and get those in the ground as soon as you can. Now, there's a few other things to consider when we're talking about heavy rains and storms. Thankfully, here in the Backyard Family Garden, we have our mulch down. We just put that down last week. And so that helped prevent that water and that rain from really smashing into the ground and creating a nice heavy crust. But if you didn't have cover like this, what can happen is that soil just crusts over and it makes a very hard layer at the surface, and it makes it hard for water to penetrate and for the plants to emerge from. So, you know, that's just another side effect of some of those extremely heavy rains. If you have a situation where you have standing water, so I have some asparagus at home that's still in a trench and it's just sitting in water right now, you think, oh gosh, that's probably not good for those roots, and you're right, it's not. But most plants can withstand at least 24 hours of standing water and be just fine, as long as it drains away in that time frame. Now, having a nice hot sunny day the day after you have all that standing water can actually make it worse, because then, if you can imagine, that's like cooking the roots. It heats up that water and it's just amplifying that effect. So again, can you do anything about it? No. You have to just kind of wait and see what happens. But if that water drains away within 24 hours, hopefully those shrubs, those trees, those flowers, whatever is standing in water will be just fine. If you have questions about gardens and what to do after storm damage, please contact your local extension office for more information. Reporting for K-State Research and Extension and Eagle TV, I'm Holly Dickman, Ellis County Horticulture Extension Agent.
Don't miss the Green and Growing Show in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Eagle TV. Ellis County Horticulture Agent Holly Dickman will identify common lawn and garden issues while providing up-to-date information. Watch weekdays in the noon to 9 p.m. hours on Channel 14 or 614. Green and Growing, brought to you by Riedel's Garden Center, a full-service garden center west of Hayes on Highway 40, and Eagle TV.
With our current weather conditions, it takes a real expert to create landscape that'll thrive. Riedel's Garden Center has the staff with the expertise of water requirements for plants, lawns, and landscapes that'll stand up to our changing weather conditions. With 25 years of hands-on experience, owner Darren Riedel will customize a landscape design and irrigation system to meet your expectations and our climate. It's recommended to protect your lawn using Fertilome products available at Riedel's Garden Center, an authorized dealer. Call or stop by Riedel's Garden Center today.